It's like,
Started.
hi everyone, this is Priyanka. I'm the current Vice President of MSAI, which stands for the Medical Students Association of India. All who've taken time out tonight on a weekday and come for this to watch this webinar. So first of all, welcome to everyone all. And secondly, I'm going to start with a brief intro to something called IFMSA. I think a lot of you all have heard about MSAI but have not heard about IFMSA. A short introduction on IFMSA stands for the International Federation of Medical Students Association. This was basically founded in 1951, and IFMSA currently is one of the largest non-governmental organizations representing medical students globally, all over the world. They currently have 129 national member organizations. That is, each country has an IFMSA recognized branch from all the continents. And basically, IFMSA is not just any other NGO or conventional NGO. It's recognized by the World Health Organization, World Medical Association, and the United Nations as the largest voice of medical students globally. So what does IFMSA do? We're going to sit over here and think that, okay, I'm an Indian medical student. I don't want something international. I want to give India PG. How does IFMSA help you? I think if you're looking at any place for global networking to grow more as a person, I don't think there's anything better than IFMSA on your plate. And it really does not matter whether you're an Indian PG aspirant or a USMLE or a PLAB aspirant. IFMSA is something which will help you personally grow as a doctor, as a student, and as a human being. What does IFMSA do? IFMSA basically works in a lot of arenas. To start with, most of them function through 6 standing committees. The 6 standing committees of IFMSA are as follows. The first one is the Standing Committee on Medical Education. It is one of the first committees started by IFMSA. It works on a variety of medical issues, right? Medical student rights, medical student development, professional development, working on enhancement of medical curriculum all throughout the globe. Like different medical schools, some have added credits, some have added things. Like there are a lot of medical schools abroad which have gender studies as well, or have a dual degree course. They work for medical development, skill development, which includes various workshops, which could be something like basic BLS workshop recognized by AHA, or it could be probably training for various other courses or giving license exam, a variety of things. Medical education is a very broad term in short. The next committee is Standing Committee for Professional Exchange. So how professional exchange work is that you could be studying in any local government or deemed or private college here, but you could go for a clinical experience to any country in the United States, to any medical school in the United States, to Australia or Europe, Middle East, anywhere. An exchange is typically of 4 weeks. So you can apply as a member of MSAI, and once you get selected, you can pay the certain fee and go. Exchanges are for various departments, and each exchange has a particular eligibility criteria, whether you're a second prof student or a third prof student. And basically, if it exchange works 2 ways. So basically, if you are going there, they also come here. We've recently been very successful in signing a lot of contracts for exchanges with other countries. Our first outgoing exchange was this girl from Bani, who was from Surat, Gujarat. She's a third major student, and she went for an exchange in obstetrics and gynecology at Italy. And we've also been successful in signing contracts with Russia, Turkey, and various other countries. We currently had 4 exchange students come to us also at Gujarat who trained in various departments over here. The next committee I'm going to come to is SCORI, which is Standing Committee on Research and Exchange. Basically, research and exchange doesn't focus on just doing a conventional research in your country. We do a lot of researches in MSCI also, but you can also go just like professional exchange for a research exchange also to any other country. And in India, probably we don't value research, although we really need research in a country like India. But abroad, the research opportunities are amazing. They have researches on DNA, cellular repair, and various other things, genetics, immunochemistry. So you can go to any medical university for 4 to 5 weeks, train in research program. You make a lot of friends. You grow personally you grow as a person. It's a brilliant opportunity again. And research, basically, the topics in research may not be purely clinical, like you may not be doing something in laboratory medicine, but it can be a paraclinical research as well. So basically, you'll actually develop your research things. A lot of us in India, I don't think we know what research is. There's a difference between whether it's an interventional study, it's a cross-sectional study, or it's a questionnaire-based study. So you'll actually learn from scratch. The professors are very friendly. That's one of the other global exposures the IFMSA gives you. The next committee is something which is very, very important as a doctor, something called human rights in doctors. Again, this is something which we undervalue in India. abroad, I mean, doctors are respected in every branch. Your UN, your WHO, everyone. If there's a humanitarian issue, they are going to have a doctor on board for his opinions, for his views. So human rights and peace works on various things such as gender equality, providing medical aid to people in the undernourished, people who are not getting essential medicines, or the war-based countries. They also work on child rights and something like disaster medicine. Currently, there was a SCORP camp which is held in Lithuania where there were two training sessions. One training session was on disaster medicine, and the other one was on human rights trainers. Bioethics is also a common topic which is common to medical education as well as human rights. So they have various works related to human rights and peace. The next
Hello,
committee
hello.
I'm coming. Hello.
Slowly.
Yeah.
Yeah, go
I'm
on.
sorry if I was fast. The next
Yeah.
committee I'm coming to is SCORA, which is the Standing Committee on Sexual Reproductive Health and HIV/AIDS. SCORA again works in 5 arenas: comprehensive sexual education, LGBT education, then sexual issues, gender-based violence, and variety of others. SCORA is one of the most active committees by far per se. They have been doing a lot of SCORA, and I want to clear this doubt that research doesn't happen only as part of SCORI, the research committee. Research can happen in any committee, like on medical education. You could be doing a research on the medical curriculum in various countries. Similarly, SCORP had a study last year, which we as part of MSCI did in the Asian continent, and we presented that at the March meet in Malta also. It was a study done on ethics, human rights and ethics education in medical schools among Asia. So in SCORA also doing various studies on gender-based violence, on HIV/AIDS, and on awareness regarding sexually transmitted infections. Like in India, a lot of our patients, they don't know that a term called STI exists per se, and the difference between HIV and AIDS. Half people are still confused on what is HIV-1 and HIV-2. So SCORA works on a lot of these issues. They're primarily working to increase awareness regarding gender-based violence, because a lot of women, I mean, we must be knowing that in India, are raped, are sexually abused. So again, a doctor's perspective is very important. This SCORA is working very hard on that. The next committee is again one of the most important committees, which is Standing Committee on Public Health. Public health works in all your arenas, whether it's child health and development, nutrition awareness, mega health camps to reach out to people, or tobacco control and early screening for cancer. Public health is one committee I feel which connects everywhere. Like HIV/AIDS awareness is also a matter of public health. Then patient education or patient rights also. So everything basically somewhere interconnects to public health. This is what IFMSC, the 6 standing committees are. A few things with IFMSA works is, one is global health advocacy. IFMSA every year sends its delegation to UN meets, to WHO meets, and to WMA meets. This year, currently, Dr. Bianca Honikeri, who was the previous National Officer for Research Exchange, she has represented MSA India at the United Nations meeting, United Nations and WHO meeting on climate change and development, which was held in Paris in July. And she was the only delegate selected from India. So basically, IFMSA had selected a 5-member delegation to represent themselves. The delegation was headed by Skander Safi, who's from Tunisia. He is the liaison officer of public health in the IFMSA international team. Similarly, we have WHO representation. Like right now, next month, there's a WHO Southeast Asia conference, for which our president, Dr. John Raj, and our VPA, Dr. Mukta Sharma, they are going to be going to Sri Lanka. And there's another WHO conference which is going to be held in October in Philippines. So they've opened a call for that delegation. And our previous president, who's now part of our supervising council, Dr. Naren Nalapeta, he represented India at the UN meeting on population and development, which is held at the UN headquarters. So basically, we have these global health advocacy meets where they send a delegation. And coming to WMA, I think all of you must have heard of WMA. Each country medical council ultimately is affiliated to the World Medical Association. So WMA, basically how the tie-up with IFMSA is that we have an emergency medicine internship. So our interns can go and intern at the WMA headquarters, and IFMSA represents their sends a delegation represent the WMA meetings as well. And besides that, in terms of global health training, IFMSA also has internships at WHO. Your chances of getting selected for a WHO internship are double if you apply through IFMSA rather than applying externally on your own. We also have a United Nations internship. They recently had an internship at Israel for the war victims, where you could go and intern for a minimum of 6 weeks to 3 months or 4 months. And they have various other internships, like they have internships at many other medical schools, and a lot of basically external opportunities to go and train yourself. And one major fault which I think is lacking in India, that we think if you're not doing USMLE or PLAB, why do I go and intern? Why do I build my CV? No. Like what I believe, and I think what you will also start believing the day you become a member of MSA or FMSA, knowledge never goes waste, irrespective of where you do your residency or what field you specialize in. Whatever you have learned will help you professionally grow, will make you a better doctor. I think all of us have studied PSM, and a doctor is not just that who just writes the prescriptions and sends your patient away. Doctor is someone who actually tells your patient this is the main issue, this is what you need to work on, and the doctor-patient relation is very important. So whatever you learn, it helps you grow as a person. And tomorrow, say even if you're practicing in India, you go abroad, knowledge, you'll always be respected for the extra knowledge you have. So that's why I would not say that. Please do not think that IFMSA is only if you want to go abroad or it helps an international medical graduate. No, that's absolutely not the case. So I think that's a brief overview on IFMSA. You can check out www.ifmsa.org. And if you have any doubts, you could send us a mail on msi-india@ifmsa.org. We'll be more than happy to help you out. Next, I'll come to MSAI. Basically, MSAI stands for the Medical Students Association of India. MSAI was first founded in Karad in 2011. We got accepted first time as a member in the 2011-12 meet at Ghana, and we got our full membership this year at Mexico. So IFMSA basically has, besides the earlier things that I told, IFMSA has a lot of other meetings. The two most important meetings are the General Assemblies. So MSAI has been part of most of the General Assemblies till date. The General Assembly is basically a major event happening in March and August where all the countries come. So each country, as I said, is known as a national member organization, and they have their name, like in Greece, Helmic Greece. So ours is MSAI. So all these countries come for the GA. A GA is divided into three parts. One is your pre-GA. In your pre-GA, they have a variety of training sessions. There'll be training session on safe abortion. There'll be a training session on disaster medicine, like at the recent March GA at Malta. The disaster medicine training was magnificent. They had Malta Red Cross. They had actual real. They just made a set, where they had real life situations. So you got to learn a lot that what is exactly disaster medicine. I think we don't really get that exposure in India again because we don't really know the value of thing called PSM. But abroad, disaster medicine is an extension of public health, and it elongates into emergency medicine as well. So they had a lot of such training. So your pre-GA training, you can go for medical ethics, you can go for safe abortion, you can go for something which is non-clinical like leadership and administrative training, and a lot of other issues like there's public health leadership training. So this is what your pre-GA compromises, irrespective whether you go in March or August. Then we come to your GA. Your GA is a 5-day event. The first day I think starts with a grand mega opening ceremony, and then your sessions are divided. Each morning you'll have your sessions. You can again decide which standing committee you're attending, whether you're going for public health or you're going for sexual and reproductive health or professional exchange. And I think the first thing it starts in the morning is with the entire team. So whether you're from Asia or Europe, you'll meet everyone associated with that committee in your session. Then you narrow down to something like a regional session, which is just a regional meet. So you just meet people from Asia Pacific. And the evening is one of the most important events, just called a plenary. A plenary is basically like if you've seen a high profile board level meeting. It's where all 129 NMOs sit down, decide bylaws, which are basic rules in how the organization functions. It's team of officials. There are elections. There's candidature. Candidature presentation is basically coming and presenting your entire portfolio for a particular post you want to apply for, or a presentation for hosting the next GA. Like every August, one country gives a presentation which includes its finances and everything for hosting the next GA for all countries to come. And they have various discussions and voting on particular rules and rights. So that's one of the basic elements of the GA, which decides the further perspective of the organization, the future of the organization. And that's your 5-day GA. The day the GA ends, they have a post GA, which is more like a tour, which is optional. So this is the GA. So basically, we got our full membership in Mexico, and besides the GA, the IFMSA also has the Asia Pacific regional meet, the Middle East meet. So they basically have a lot of regional meets. So this year, the Asia Pacific regional meet was held in Thailand. Mubashir Babara, previous National Officer for Sexual Health, and Moksha Sharma, previous Exchange Officer and current VPA, were in attendance. So that is at Asia Pacific regional meet. They're going to be discussing issues just in the Asia Pacific region, laws related to Asia Pacific. That happens every year in June. The next Asia Pacific regional meet is in Kazakhstan. So get involved and want to represent us, we'll be more than glad to send you. Sorry for diverting again. Coming again to MSAI. So yeah, we got our full membership in 2000. 16 August, Mexico. So how does MSAI function basically? MSAI also functions in the purview of IFMSA. We have the same six standing committees. I'd like to first introduce our current ED to you. Our current ED consists of our president, Dr. John Jeva Raj, who's from Tamil Nadu, Chennai. There's the vice president for external affairs, Adit Desai. There is me, the vice president for internal affairs, Priyanka. There is Chinmay Jani, who is the national secretary. There is Rutesh Vardhan, who is from Hyderabad, who is the vice president for memberships. There is Romil Singh, who is from Rajasthan, for Finance, commonly known as the Treasurer. There is Mokshadas Sharma, who is the Vice President for the Activities. There is the Udayveer Singh Garewal, who is the Vice President for Capacity Building, a very, very important aspect of building the organization. And there's Kriti Rawat, who is the Vice President for PR and Communications, who she's involved in all external collaboration. This is what our basic ED is made of. Then we come to the team of officials. The similar structures for an IFMSA, I'd like to make that clear. The team of officials is concerned mainly with the project support division directors, which is Manju and Aruna. There's the publication support division director, Arshit and Shweta. Then there's the national officers for each standing committee. The project support are involved basically in giving basically all the support you need for taking the project to a higher level, collaborating with international organizations. The project support division is basically doing a major campaign on global climate change control, and we're trying to partner with UN based organization and NCD free also to take this campaign on a very large scale. We introduced it for the first time in Mexico. We're currently working with 13 countries, that's UAE, Pakistan, Bangladesh, China, Russia, and UK, and Australia, and various other countries. We're going to be involved in various policy making decisions for what is the impact of climate change, where do doctors come into play on climate change. We always think, okay, global warming is, okay, it might be a public health issue, but doctors may not, but no. But when there's global warming, there's increase in cancer, there's increase in vector-borne diseases, respiratory illness, basically an array of illnesses. That's where doctors come into play. So we're going to be doing various media campaigns, various awareness projects. So if you want to get involved, we have more than 13 plus countries involved. You can get in touch with Aruna or Manju. I will be putting down their mails down, or you could just send a mail to msi-india@ifmsa.org. We'll connect with you. Next comes the publication support division directors, which are Arshit and Shweta Rani. What the publication support division does is that we at MSAI, we have our own magazine and our newsletter, which contains an overview of all the activities done through the year, all the conferences we have been part of, or all the training sessions we have done. So I think all of that is put down by them. And at the MSAI Vani, which is our annual magazine, we have various articles. Articles could be on any topic, not just limited to MSAI. Anything a person saw, or medical articles, so various things. You could get in touch with the directors for the same. And Fenestra is the newsletter, which was also for the first Fenestra edition went out at Malta in March, and this time at Mexico. It was distributed to all the countries. So if you want to get involved in the magazine committee or the newsletter committee, you could talk to the support division director. And then the other things what the publication support division does is making various manuals for the working of the organizations, the printing manuals, or the day-to-day help manual. Like if you want help in doing event for MSAI, a score or anything, how do you go about doing a health camp or an event or anything? How do you file a report? How do you, if you're collecting a report, if you're taking up statistics or anything, how do you file that, or anything which will help you in briefing and doing the job every day? All that is also made by the publication support division director. Next is the 6 standing committees. Basically, our committees are, the first one is SCOMI, which is medical education. A few things what you're working in SCOMI is basically, the first one is the recently held event called Bioethics. So I'd like to tell all of you all that we have an official collaboration with the United Nations, UNESCO, and we had recently had a nationwide event for the Bioethics seminar, which was held at D.Y. Patil University, Pune. 35 people from MSA represented us over there, and Dr. Mary and her husband, both of them, Dr. Russell, they both are on the team, and we have a collaboration with them. So this is one thing what SCOM and SCOP together are working on, and we're going to have various other bioethics training seminars for doctors, final year students, interns through them. And this was done at Pune. It's a SCOM plus SCOP thing. The next thing what SCOM is working on is basically on professional development, or on student enrichment programs. They're going to be doing various training workshops. The first one will be a language development workshop. Like a lot of us, if you're from other cities, because they've given AIPMT or something, we find it difficult to go to another city and adapt the language. Like if I'm a North Indian, I'm going to Karnataka, I'll have problem with the language. So I think we're working on with various professors to help in the language and how to communicate with the patient in rural language or certain medical terms, how to basically interact with the patient more. The next thing we are doing is a short working group, which is going to be an antibiotic resistance. That's going to be involving a short policy making draft on antimicrobial resistance. What do we as medical students feel about that? Going to various places, creating awareness regarding the same pharmacotherapy, what are the do's and don'ts. So they're going to be having an array of activities on that. That is one thing. And the next thing I think, which I don't know, a lot of you have heard about this.
In resistance,
It's called
there are
doctor.
many more things. In resistance, they are
Hello?
going to hello.
Yeah.
Elaborate something more on resistance and all. I mean, we are going to have something more also in that. There
Yeah,
will be going
basically a
to
lot
be
of things
research
like going to various
publications
colleges, working on policy statements, doing a research
and
survey as
research
well.
publications also.
Yeah, publications as well. Every short working group, the ultimate aim is a publication. We're going to be doing a research as well. The main coordinators for this SWG for antibiotic resistance are Udaivir Singh Gariwal, who's the VPCD, and Shushmita Reddy, who is one of the national officers for SCOM. And this is one thing. And if you want to join the SWG, or if you want to have any doubts, you can again send a mail and we'll connect you with them. The other few things SCOM is working on, or rather is connected with, is Dr. Bean. Any of you all can check out drbean.com. We have a tie-up with Dr. Bean. All our Dr. Bean is headed basically by Dr. Mobeen Syed, who is one of our who's one of our advisors. Who's one of our advisors. He's based in the United States. Dr. Mobeen, every month he takes webinars for our students on various topics, and he runs Dr. Bean as well. So how does Dr. Mobeen's webinars work? Every month he'll take a particular webinar for our students on various topics. Like you could have a webinar on microbiology, on immunology, and he's taken a few clinical topics like stroke or the CNS tracks. Like a lot of us, our neurophysiology is very weak, and I think knowledge about stroke or CNS tracks is going to help you in your final year medicine exam as well. Plus, if you're giving your first year physiology exam, CNS tracks is a very important topic. So he takes a lot of these webinars every month, and Dr. Bean has many videos, general medical videos, plus specialized videos for USMLE Step 1. So you can subscribe to them. Many of them are, some of them are free, some are discounted. This discount is especially for MSI members. Like I think 2 months ago, they had a discount, 35 to 40% discount on respiratory system for step 1, which was just exclusively for MSI members. So these are few of the benefits. To know more, you could just check drbean.com. It's run by Dr. Mobeen Syed, one of our advisors. One more thing what SCOM is involved is with Dr. Suresh Gupta. This is a part of SCOMI Plus Exchange. We have an observership with Dr. Suresh Gupta, who's an internal medicine physician who's based again in the United States. He's on the Maryland Board of Physicians and is also associated with the American Board of Physicians of Indian origin. He's one of our advisors, and both Dr. Mobeen and Dr. Suresh have been with us for the longest time. So he's also doing an observership, and for any guidance regarding USME, I think he's always available through us. This is one thing SCOM and Exchange works together with him on. The other few things I think SCOM is doing is taking various workshops. Like we plan to go to various colleges, take up workshops for suturing, surgical skills, for ALS, BLS, which are AHA recognized. And one of the major events done by us in Maharashtra especially was we had a tie-up with the medical bookstore here. Like a lot of us, medical books cost a lot. So basically, we made a list of calls, and every call the members were given books at a major discounted rate with a full info on IFM and Msai. That is a major SCOM educational drive which we did. So we are looking forward to do many such things. And another thing what we did was an ECG seminar, rather ECG workshop, which was done by Dr. Sushant Shinde. You can go and Google him. He's an MD medicine from AIMS, and he's currently heading Quest, which is a medical tuition classes in Bombay, and a lot of government college and other college students go to him. So he took an ECG workshop at St. John's Medical College, Bangalore. This was organized by Dr. Rahul, who was one of our local officers from Bangalore. And various other things what SCOM has planned to do is basically under the guidance of Dr. Pankuri Banerjee, who was the previous national officer for SCOM. She has now, for this project, the current national officers, is to include research as part of the education system. We are going to be talking to various PSM departments of various colleges, making research education a compulsory unit of first year medical education. Like right now, a lot of colleges have ethics as a part, but we're going to work on getting research, giving more weightage to research. I think because A lot of us think that research is necessary only if you want a publication or if you want to go abroad. But no, when you do research, you learn a lot more about the subject than you would have ordinarily studied. Like I did a study on cervical cancer. Trust me, I studied more than what I would read from a conventional data or a show. So I think research helps in growing your knowledge about the subject as well. That is one thing we're talking about. And in addition, we're tying up with various conferences and planning to have our own national conference on research for presenting research papers and various other things. We are tied up with one of the other conferences as well in March, which was AMCON, which was held by NCL Medical College, and it was coordinated by our previous national officer, Dr. Pankaj Banerjee, and Chinmay Jani, our current national secretary, and Adita, current VPE. These are the few things working together in SCOME, and the current national officers for SCOME are Khalid Ahmed and Shushmita Reddy, so you can contact them again on the same email. Next, I come to Standing Committee on Professional Education. No, Professional Exchange, I'm sorry. The past National Officer for Standing Committee on Professional Exchange was Mokshada Sharma, who is currently our VPA. Mokshada has done a fabulous job with Scopi. From getting Scopi active, I think we're the 100th plus nation to get active and as part of professional exchange. We have a tie-up with various universities in India to accept external students, and with various other countries. Like I said, our first exchange was to Italy. Vani from Surat went for an OBGY exchange, and she had a fabulous experience from making new friends to actually learning how different hospitals work, what are the kind of patients, like certain probably because in a private college or something, but you cut out all that negative exposure when you go there. So I think once you're going for an exchange is a very, very good thing. You can go for exchange to any country you want, to Germany, to Turkey, to any other country in Croatia or anything else. Europe, USA, I mean, there are a lot of options. So I think you can get in touch. The current national officers for SCOME are Zohan Nizami and Neil Patel. And the next this next COPI term has started. So if you really want to apply for an exchange, I think you should get in touch with them ASAP, because there are limited seats for each country and for each department. Like for internal medicine or surgery, there'll be 3 or 4 seats. So you can get in touch with them respectively. The next is SCORI, so that is research and exchange again.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Can I start with the story?
Yes. So I think Chinmay will be taking our session for SCORI.
Yeah. Hello everyone. I am Chinmay Jani. I'm the General Secretary of MSAI. SCORI, India was the last nation currently at Mexico to become SCORI active, and we are having 2 colleges right now in India. Who are accepting the students from different countries, and we have signed around 12 to 15 contracts with different countries in Europe and also in Americas for sending students. SCORI is something similar to Scopy, but a bit different. In Scopy, we have for 1 month we are having exchanges like the clinical exchanges that we do in India, uh, like an internship or your clinical experiences that is in there in the first or third final years. But in SCORI, we are having the research exchanges. There are lots of different projects, something related to clinical, dermatology, surgical, gynecology, even some basic projects like drug trials are also going on. In India also, we are trying to collaborate with different hospitals and institutes in Gujarat and also in some South, and also we'll be able to coordinate with many other colleges all over India. Apart from that, SCORI, I think so you have covered with the SCOF and SCOMI, right, Priyanka?
Yeah.
Yeah. Something about IFMSA programs?
Scopy and SCOMI. You can take the other committees.
Scopy and SCOMI is done. Okay. SCOF, I think so. That's the best. Naga will take. I will just brief them all about IFMSA programs also. So something about IFMSA programs. In IFMSA programs, these are like since many years in IFMSA, there are lots of activities going on in all over the world. I would just like to correct in one thing that now in IFMSA there are 130 NMOs, that is national member organizations. And talking about MSI's history, MSI was the 100th NMO to become the candidate member. And since many years, as I say, there were activities going on, but there was not proper kind of proper utilization of it. For example, if someone asks IFMSA that what are you doing right now? I mean, what are the activities that are being done in IFMSA? Then they had to, like, they would say that we are having lots of activities, but what? I mean, in what way? Or if you want to document all over, then it was not possible. So now IFMSA has started with a program. Last year was the first trial year. Since 1.5 years they have started, and researches or some activities, even the basic activities like even campaigns or drives, some even flash mobs, they all are to be registered with IFMSA. And IFMSA develops a database of all these activities from all over the world, and they would show this that this is what IFMSA is doing in different parts of the world. In India, this year there were many activities who were enrolled for the activities fair, and one of the activity that was done by that was started from Gujarat and Punjab, Maharashtra, and other states. That was they were nominated. One was of World Health Diabetes Day. That was carried out in 15 states under SCOF. Uh, World Health Day. The topic was diabetes. And apart from that, there was one more. That was I was the event coordinator for the same. That was a diabetic retinopathy. Then we had presentation from Be the Change campaign from Punjab, and even a conference called AMCON from Ahmedabad and from Gujarat. So basically, we would like in India also that more all of the students who do such kind of activities, they can be enrolled over there. And so it's so one basic concept that I want to convey with this is like MSAI or IFMS is not just about research or something about going outside. That's what Priyanka said before also. There are so many other things. I mean, by going into GA, you learn diplomacy. I mean, coordinating with different countries. There are so many countries sitting over there. You are voting for one another. You are voting for different bylaws, and you are voting for candidates from different countries. I still remember the moment when India became the full member. At that moment, we had some different kind of feeling when we got standing ovation from all the nations present over there. Apart from that, something of IFMSA history. Have you covered, Priyanka? IFMSA history?
Yeah, I gave a basic. It'll be nice if you can elaborate. I gave a basic brief.
Yeah, so sorry, I was not there at the call at that moment. So IFMSA is basically was established with motive after World War II. At that time, there were lots of calamities all over the world, especially in the European region. So students from mainly from the European nations, they came together and started with an organization called International Federation of Medical Students Association, and they came with an idea of serving the humanity. And slowly, different standing committees were started. Scopi being the oldest one, Scopi, which has already been described before also. And after that, it was expanded to different countries, including Americas, Asia, Africa. And in Asia right now, there are, if I'm not wrong, there are 19 national member organizations. India currently the full member, as we said. Apart from that, all our neighbors, including Nepal, Bangladesh, Pakistan, Sri Lanka, all of them are also full members. Apart from that, yeah, Bhutan is not a full member right now. But yeah, something more about Priyanka, about SCOF.
Yeah,
I think so.
well,
Nagarjun should start with the SCOF.
Naga, are you speaking or I should take it? He told me to take it, that's why.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. So Standing Committee for Public Health, SCOF, I think we all know how important PSM is. So few of the premier events which we have done as part of SCOF was the World Health Day event, which was done in April, and the lead coordinator for the event was our previous National Officer of Public Health, Dr. Xenia Poladia. She even represented us at Mexico. So basically this was done in 16 cities all over India. More than 8,300 adolescents were educated about diabetes mellitus. We had questionnaires ready, like we didn't do a conventional just awareness survey or a study. We went and did a proper full-fledged questionnaire-based study, and we're planning to take this ahead to publication level as well. And there were more than 240 volunteers involved. This was presented even at the Mexico meet. Another thing we did for the World Health Day, which was again Xenia's idea, we had interviewed Dr. Komal Kanitkar. Dr. Komal is a community medicine resident at Nair Hospital, Bombay. She's done her MBBS from KEM Hospital, one of the premier government institutes in Bombay. And she's been a diabetic since almost the past 14-15 years. She's battled diabetes effortlessly, and she has a very positive outlook in life. So this webinar was done on how to beat diabetes, since the World Health Day theme by WHO was to beat diabetes. I will post the link of the YouTube video. It got more than 2,000 views. It's on our official YouTube page, and various other countries applauded our effort. And we're planning to also go to various schools, colleges, and institutes to talk to people about diabetes. A lot of people think a chronic illness stays with you all your life and is just related to medicines. But I think no, I think the best way to beat an illness is you yourself, your mind, and if you make your mind strong, I think nothing else is there with nothing else can fight against you. And the other few things what we're planning in SCOP, our current national officers for SCOP after Dr. Zinia left are Dr. Nagarjuna and Dr. Murli. They are basically planning a lot of studies in public health. The current study they're working on is hepatitis awareness and knowledge, altitude, and prevalence of hepatitis B. This study again was done in various states, starting from Punjab, Haryana, South India, and they even did an awareness session. They're also working on organ donation, protein energy, malnutrition in children. They're working with Anganwadi workers. And a few other things what we're working in SCOP are studies on tobacco control, tobacco usage in adolescents. And basically what in IFMSA, as I elaborated earlier, exchanges, they have public health exchanges. 1 year ago, there was an exchange on Brazil on going to learn the public health system of Brazil. So SCOP, SCORA, and other committees also have their individual paraclinical exchanges. So you can probably be part of them. And SCOP is very closely involved with WHO meetings. IFMSA also sends a delegation to the World Health Assembly. The World Health Assembly is held every year in May, where majority of the public health team, the liaison officer of IFMSA, who's the highest decision-making part of the SCOP, is represented, and they take delegates from other countries. So Dr. Abhinav Dhingra, our member from AIMS New Delhi, was part of the World Health Assembly this May. He was also selected for the WHO internship at Geneva. So these are the few things SCOP is involved in. Next, I'll come to SCORA, which is Standing Committee on Sexual, Reproductive Health and HIV/AIDS. SCORA, our previous SCORA officer was Mubashir Babar, who was from Grand Medical College. Some of the things done at SCORA is the World AIDS Day Marathon. We had almost 300 plus people running to a world free of AIDS or getting down to zero. And this marathon took place at Marine Drive. The other few things done in SCORA are, we did a massive, student education session on sex education. This was done along with Dr. Rajan Bhosle, who is the professor in the Department of Sexual Education at KEM Hospital. We had almost more than 250 students attending. This was again at JJ. And the few current things SCORA is working on is again comprehensive sexual education. The current SCORA officers are Anshita Raodev and Rajshri Vast. We have a short working group which is working on comprehensive sexual education for school students, for college-going students, for adults, on marriage counseling, and various other parts of sexual education. We're working on LGBT health. We have an international project which is called PRISM, which is working on LGBT health and LGBT rights all over the world. We have Pakistan, Bangladesh, UAE on collaboration with us. And the few other things which SCORA has worked in the past is on breastfeeding awareness. This was a SCORA plus SCOP combined thing. Various events were done all over India for World Breastfeeding Week as well. And one of the personal events I've done in SCORA is various sex education sessions for school children. We've gone and educated them about sex education, why sex education is actually important, why it is important to talk to your parents. We've spoken about masturbation, pornography. We've also spoken on a very neglected topic in India, which is alternative sexuality. I don't think even when we reach puberty, a lot of our parents talk to us on alternative sexuality. So gone and spoken to them, and probably coming to even gender discrimination and gender violence. We've spoken about gender equality, explained to them what a transgender is. Even I think as doctors, a lot of us don't know the difference between a transgender and a transsexual. So SCORA is even working on LGBT health and on clearing myths regarding LGBT. That is the few things we have done. And we had recently done an event with Dr. Mahindra Vatsa. You can go and Google him. He's 92 years old. He's one of the oldest Indian sexologists. He's currently the head person of the Indian Association of Parenthood and Indian Sexual Association. And he basically writes for the Mumbai, Ahmedabad, and Bangalore Mirror. He has a full column where people ask their sex doubts. He's written various books on family planning, on sexuality, on planning parenthood, and various other things. So we had a live sexuality session with him, and it was a major success. A young college student who was 22 came and actually opened up about his sexuality and spoke. He was confused whether he's bisexual or he's homosexual. People came and asked sexual doubts. He cleared a lot of other doubts. So I think it is an open forum discussion session against sex, sexuality, and relationships. I think that is a major topic we needed because a lot of us have our own mindshare doubts about relationships. So this is a few things what we're working in SCORA about. If you have any more doubts about SCORA or want to know more, again, you can contact Anshita Raodev or Rajshri Vast at the email address I had mentioned. So we're done with SCORI, we're done with SCOPI, we're done with SCOMI, SCORA, and SCOP. The last committee I am coming to is SCORP, again one of the most important committees. The previous SCORP stands for Standing Committee on Human Rights and Peace. the previous National Officer for Standing Committee on Human Rights and Peace was Nishtha Khatri, who had come with me along with various others to AM 2014, which was the IFMSA August GA. As I said, they have two GAs, and she had attended the SCOP session. And post her, the current National Officers for Standing Committee of Human Rights and Peace are Neha Masrani, who was part of the Malta GA in March, and Dr. Namrata Roy. What we do in part of SCORP is we've had various in the past we've done various events such as taking sessions on gender equality, women's rights. We've had sessions for women who have been domestically abused. We've had health checkup sessions for them, taking motivational and counseling sessions for them. We've had sessions for sex workers. Sex workers is a thing which works in common relation to SCORA and SCORP, because I think we don't really value sex workers' rights. There are very few doctors who go into red light areas and check them. So we've actually gone and done a mental health counseling session for these women, asked them to open up about HIV and various STIs. We did a checkup as well. Some of these women have piles, some have some skin infections. We've gone and done a checkup. And we're also working on how we can improve the medical system to probably give them their health rights, because I think health is an access which everyone should have, irrespective of nationality or your profession or anything else, or sexuality. That is the few things. The other premier event what SCORP is working on is Calendar Girls, which is clearing taboos related to menstruation and going and speaking about the girl-child rights. And so this is currently going on, and our first event is starting this week with Maharashtra. We're progressing to other states such as Haryana, Kolkata, Punjab, and South India as well. Few of the other things they are working on is child rights, female feticide, and name a few. So if you want to know, and bioethics, the National Bioethics Seminar, which I mentioned, was a SCOMI plus SCORP thing. So if you want to know anything else about SCORP or any of the activities you want to get into, like even disaster medicine or medical ethics, human rights training, you can just mail us and we'll get you in touch with Neha and Namrata, our current SCORP officers. And as I said, all your events, how an event protocol works is that you have to send us a pre-event report. Say you want to do an event for events regarding hepatitis B. You could get in touch with the national officer, and once he or she gives a go-ahead to the project, you could mail it to the ED as well as him. Your pre-event proposal could include topics like where do you want to do it, why do you want to do it, what is your target population, say your target population is adolescents from 13 to 18, and what are the problems associated with the activity, and what is your budget. So basically we'll try and fund all our events. We try and work on minimum budget events, but in case it's higher, we will sanction that. Just that the criteria is we need all the bills to be produced. Since we are a registered NGO, we're also registered on the Societies Act, and we're a full-time member of IFM, so we need to produce all the bills for paying tax and all every year. And then you basically have the once you do the event, we have a post-event follow-up with the statistics of the event, what was due. We try and do an event follow-up, like say you go to a shelter care home where women have been domestically abused, you give them ergonomic advice, you give them healthcare advice. How many actually followed it? That actually contributes to the success of the event. That's a PSM perspective. So that we're trying to do follow-ups. And Chinmay here, who told you about IFMSA programs, we are trying on getting all our events registered under IFMSA programs, whether it's child health, whether it's sexual health. The advantage of registering it into an IFMSA program is that your campaign or your event or a health camp can work on a more global level. You can get in touch with people who are involved in this since a very, very long time. You could get funding for your event on a larger scale. So basically you could reach out to more people. And again, once it's registered under IFMSA programs, if you present it at the GA, it could be nominated for an award. Basically, it opens up an array of avenues registering under the event. So our VPA, Dr. Mokshada Sharma, she will assist you in registering all your events internationally with IFMSA. So that is one thing. And as of now, currently we have our new team was elected in July, and our next team will be elected at the next national GA. So in case any of you all you'll get active, you'll want to take up the work on a national level or regional level, you could apply for a post. So as I said, the ED and the team of officers has the national officers. Besides that, the key posts are the state presidents. Each state has a state presence. So currently we have a few North Indian and South Indian states. We're looking toward expanding towards the Northeast, the East, and a few cities down South also. So we would really like
we are having state directors in the West and Central also. I think so only the East and the Northeastern
yeah.
part is
Chinmay, you want to add up on that? You want to take that?
Yeah. And add regarding the RDs and the RAs, especially
Yeah,
mentioned about
please
those.
go ahead. Please go ahead.
Okay, yeah. So basically, something talking about the posts and these things in MSCI. We are having the EB. EB comprises of different committees. as similar to IFMSA, like we have the president and then the vice president of internal affairs, external affairs, vice president for activities, vice president for capacity building, and vice president for finances or the treasurer. We have the general secretary. We have NTSD, that is a new technology and development. Then we
Sorry, I
have
missed
the
that.
Oh yeah, and then we have the VP or VPPR, PR and communication. That's also similar to IFMSA, and we have the VPM. That is a vice president for membership, and this all works are divided between for the major things like the membership is divided with the VPM, the capacity building, which is the major function of IFMSA. Also, capacity building is a very vast topic. It comprises of increasing in the number of students. It comprises of increasing the number of activities. In short, it comprises of increase in activation. After, along with EP, we have the team of officials. As Priyanka has already stated that we have 6 standing committees and all standing committees as team of officials. We are having 2 team of officials per standing committee. After that, along comes the regional directors. Currently, we are having 3 regional directors: the north, the west, and the south. And we are having state directors from the northern states, as Priyanka said. We want to explore. We want to explore, and we want to be active in all the states of India, and that's our major plan. And we are also having a dream plan that we should have students and officers from all the colleges of India. I mean, when we talk to some other nations that we're having more than 356 colleges in India, they are like really amazed because all of the national member organization, they have either 5 colleges or maybe 2 colleges, and still they are working since many years. So that's our basic plan. After the standing state directors, we have the regional assistants for all the standing committees. A bit of different positions for the SCOPI and the SCOI. They have the national exchange officers and then the local exchange officers, and they have the NEOCBs, that is a capacity building for the north and south. A bit of technical detail, not to be bothered much, but yeah, the local officers are also there, which works at the main activities that are done in different cities and the states that are being done by the local officers. And we want to increase the major participations at the local levels. I mean, there are local levels from all the cities, not just from the states. We have local officers in separate states of in each separate cities in each states. And anything left for the posts?
Yeah, no, can you elaborate on training since you spoke on capacity building, trainings, disaster
Yeah.
medicine,
So
military, and all.
yeah. So regarding the training, so in IFMSA,
Exactly. Can you
there are
tell
the
them about
specific.
the pre-GA? Tell them about the pre-GA and
Yeah,
how a
I'm telling
pre-GA
about the
trainer
PGA.
works.
Yes. So the training division was a major division in IFMSA. Since last year, they merged the whole training division into the capacity building. Now, capacity building is something a new word for all of us. I mean, when even I was not a very active member in MSA, for me also capacity building was something. Yeah, what's this? So as I said, increasing the participation in all the aspects of medical field, whether it's medical education, workshops, seminar trainings, whether it's exchanges, sending students from one country to another country, whether it's public health activities, whether it's SCORP regarding the reproductive health, and whether it's about something making more and more what we say the NMO involvement and the major plan is like each and every country should be also active at an equal level. Like some countries are less active and some countries are more active. It shouldn't be like that. So they are having training sessions organized at the GAs. As I think Supriyanka has already told that we have 2 GAs. One is in March and one is in August. And in the pre-GA, they give the training, and after the training, you get a certification of an IFMSA recognized trainers. Along with the trainings, as I told, you can also take training in the regional assemblies. The regional assemblies are like regional sessions are like we have Asia Pacific that was held recently at Thailand. It's going to be held next year at Kazakhstan. Similar to Asia Pacific, we have in Eastern Mediterranean, then we have in Africas, we have in Europe, we have in Americas, so in the 5 regions, and you can also take trainings over there. Along with that, we are also planning to have training sessions in India, so that we can have more and more trainers who can go to different places. We also give trainings. I mean, IFMS and MSA also give trainings like something about leadership skills, something about communication skills, something about management skills, running the whole organization, something about external representation. As Priyanka told, that we are having external representation to WHO, we have external representation to UNESCO, we have external representation to UN. I don't know whether I'm repeating the sentence, but Dr. Naren Nalapeta, he was the one who represented IFMSA at UN meet a few months back, and that was a pride moment for India, for MSAI also. Then we have external representations to WMA, that is the World Medical Associations. Something about WHO. In WHO, but through IFMSA, you can apply for the internship sessions, and you can take internship in WHO. There are lots of internships in public health, then in regarding vaccinations, or maybe something
Emergency
about
medicine.
yeah, emergency medicine. Right now, I think so. You stated right that Anshruta, the Nora,
Yeah.
she is
Yeah,
taking she is taking a training session at Italy regarding the disaster medicine. After there is a course of 1 week. I'm just giving an example of a disaster medicine because that's the most recent one going on right now. So you have to go there for a week to different countries, and then you actually get hands-on training. Like for example, in disaster medicine, they will take you to like live simulations, like if there's an earthquake or if there's something. I'm not having perfect idea, but as much as I know, I can brief you about it. Then there will be like ambulance. There will be already over there. There will be paramedics, and they will create you a basic scenario in the field. Like they will take you to some village, and then you will be like working as if it's something really a calamity. So like this kind of sessions, not only in disaster medicine, there are such kind of sessions going on in so many vast topics. I mean, uncountable topics. And this increases not only your all of the skills of management roles, but it increases your medical skills. And we at MSI, we also believe that you just don't need to be a theoretical doctor. You need to be an all-rounder medico. And for that, the basic thing that you should know is your practical skills. You need to become a perfect doctor also. So these are the training sessions of disaster medicine. Yeah, I was talking about WHO. So if you attend WHO training sessions or internships, then you can become a part of WHO meetings. They will be inviting you to their sessions, and you can represent India over there. CRO, I think so. You stated right, Priyanka.
Yeah,
So
CRO
there will
are
be.
current. Yeah, tell
Yeah,
tell them.
carry on with the CRO.
Yeah. So basically, WHO is having the Southeast Regional Meet, which is going to be held at Colombo, Sri Lanka, which is in September first week. So two delegates, it's a 5-member delegation, which will be going from IFMSA. We are extremely privileged that 2 of our delegates are going to be representing IFMSA as part of India. The first delegate is Dr. John Raj, who is our current president. He was the vice president for finance last year. And the second delegate is Dr. Mokshada Sharma, who was the National Exchange Officer last year. Currently, she is heading as Vice President for Activities. And the next WHO meeting is going to be held in October, for which the results are not yet announced. That is going to be in Philippines. That is for Western Asia. And besides internships, they have various WHO meetings and UN internships also, like I mentioned, at various war countries and across Europe, across Asia, and various other countries. And they also have a United Nations meeting for which Naren was part of the delegation, which was held at New York. And another good moment for us was the current GA at Mexico, where we got our full membership. In the pre-GA, there was a pre-GA workshop on rural health, and Naren was one of the facilitators for that. He took a 3-day long extensive session where they went on various field trips all throughout Mexico. They came to know the various healthcare systems all throughout the world in Mexico and other countries. And Naren was one of the chief people who was taking the session. And another thing about training, I don't know if you know that, but once you're an IFMSA certified trainer, when you go and attend the pre-GA there, you are allowed to conduct a training session in your home country during when we have our own national GA or during any other training session we conduct. But you can also be invited to various other countries all throughout the world to conduct a training session. Like the current international training on disaster medicine is going on for around 10 days in Italy, for which Anshita Raudeo and 2 more of our members, Rishabh and Tane, have gone. So if you're a disaster medicine trainer from India, you can be called over there and you're completely funded to come and take a training session over there. So it gives you a massive global exposure. So I would highly suggest if any of you want to join us for the next General Assembly, which is in Montenegro in March, you should attend a training session. And a training session also helps you, to interact more with people, since it's a small workshop where barely 20 or 30 people are there in each workshop. So it's a small group. You have more space to mingle. It's not like you're bound with 100 people. And plus, it's a very one-to-one conversation. So I think that those are few of the advantages of attending a training session. I would highly suggest. The next GA for IFMSA is in March, which is going to be held in Montenegro. After that comes the Asia Pacific Regional Meet, which is in Kazakhstan. And the next August GA, which is August GA is one of the biggest GAs because a lot of people come and present their candidature for international posts. So the posts are for a 1-year elected term and they begin on October 1st. So say I'm elected this August for vice president, my actual term will begin on October 1st in IFMSA. So next August GA is in Tanzania, and after that the next March venue hasn't been decided. So we'd really love if all of you all could join us. Sadly, we have a limit to take to IFMSA. We have a 16 delegation limit. Every country has a delegation limit given to them. So 8 candidates go in early registration and 8 go in late. So please, we welcome all of you all to get involved.
Sometimes we can also increase. Sometimes we do increase.
Yeah, we do increase. We'd like all of you all. And again, I'd like to clarify, please don't do this for your CV or for USMLE. Do this to grow as a person and to expand your own horizons. You'll actually learn that this isn't just medical social work or something. Once you sit into a plenary, you'll know what is IFMSA. Trust me, you will not regret this decision of coming into MSA and IFMSA. I'll just like to brief up on our current and the past team once again. I think I've missed out a few names, sadly. Our current president is Dr. John Jeba Raj. Our current vice president for external affairs is Dr. Adit Desai. Vice president for internal affairs is me. The national secretary is Chinmay Jani, who's along with me in this video. The vice president for finance is Romil Singh. Vice president for memberships is Ritesh Vardhan. The new technology support division director, who's mainly involved with building brand MSCI on all social media portals, the website, and giving all members are given certificates for whatever event, activity, or any thing they're part of as part of MSCI and IFMC. He or she is concerned with giving the certificates and updating the certificate database. And our current NTSDD is Nishka Khatri. And after that comes, I think, the vice president for memberships, that's Ritesh. Then comes the vice president for capacity building, which is Udayveer Singh Garewal, and the vice president for activities, Mokshada Sharma. The vice president for capacity building and vice president for activities are 2 new posts we have introduced this year. Last year these posts were not there, and they're really important. I think Chinmay just elaborated. And the last comes the vice president for PR and communication, which is Kriti Dawat. The previous team, the president was Dr. Naren Nalapetta, who is currently part of our supervising council. The vice president for external affairs was Amrita Dendaluri. Vice president for internal affairs last year was Manish Khazani. The national secretary was me. The vice president for finance last year was Dr. John Jeba Raj, who is our current president. Vice president for memberships is the same like last year. That's Ritesh Vardhan. The new technology support division director was Romil Singh, and the vice president for PR and communications was Apeksha Kakkar. Of the previous EB, Manish and Naren both are part of the current supervising council. The supervising council overlooks the work of the EB and the TO if there's a matter of conflict or a breach of trust or any important issue where we need an external advice or next supervision. The supervising council intermediates over there, and if there's something which goes beyond the purview of a supervising council, we take it to our advisory board. Our advisory board currently includes 3 doctors. The first one is Dr. Suresh Gupta. He's an internal medicine physician based in the United States for more than 35 plus years. We offer an observership under him. He's been there with us in the past 4 years. He's one of our chief advisors. The second advisor is Dr. Mobeen Syed, who's basically running Dr. Bean and is involved in various medical education system programs. And he takes these monthly webinars, and we have the tie-up with Dr. Bean, which is the discounted and free access to Dr. Bean for a year for all our members. That's one of the major privilege we are giving. And he takes monthly clinical webinars. That's Dr. Mobeen said. The third doctor is Dr. Puneet Gupta, who's very active into public health. He's active in WHO meets and various others. Dr. Puneet Gupta also takes monthly or 2 monthly webinars for us on research, how to do studies, what exactly is study, what is statistics. I think a major thing all of us lack as students is we don't know stats. Even though we have biostats as part of the PSM2 papers, we don't know stats. We depend on biostats. He'll actually explain to you what are parametric tests, how do you go about a study in the first place, then how do you come to the parametric evaluation or everything. We have monthly webinars on this. And the previous team of officials and national officers, which I will introduce after current introduction, the current team of officials, the national officer for medical education, are the two national officers, Khalid Ahmed, Shushmita Reddy. The previous national officer of medical education was Pankuri Banerjee, who is also part of the supervising council this year. The national officers for professional exchange are Zoha Nizami and Neil Patel. The previous national officer for exchange was Mokshada Sharma, who's our vice president for activities this year. The national officers for research exchange this year are Anmol Patel and Carlton Johnny. The previous national officers were Bianca Honikeri, who represented us at the UN and WHO meeting on climate change and development this July, which was held in Paris. Again, a very proud moment for us. The next committee I'll come to is National Officer for Human Rights and Peace. There are two national officers this year, which is Neha Masrani and Namrata Roy. The previous national officer was our current NTSDD, that is Nishtha Khatri. Next is National Officers for Sexual Reproductive Health and HIV/AIDS. The current national officers are Anshrita Raudeo, who is currently attending the international training on disaster medicine at Italy. She has also attended the March meet at Malta. She went for the SCORA session. She was part of the pre-GA training, which was again on disaster medicine. And she's part of various other projects in the past as well. And Rajashri Vast, who's been active again in various activities. They are the current national officers. And the previous national officer for sexual reproductive health and HIV/AIDS was Mubashir Babar, who is currently a finalist student at Grand Medical College. Next, I come to National Officer of Public Health. The previous National Officer was Dr. Xenia Poladia, who did the massive World Health Day event, which got a worldwide applause. All countries applauded the video, plus the efforts taken of educating 8,000 plus adolescents in a day on diabetes mellitus, doing a nationwide study, 16 cities with 230 volunteers. And she represented us at Mexico. And that was the National Office of Public Health. So these are the 6 committees. I think I covered all, right?
Yes, yes.
Yes.
Yes, you covered.
And then I come to state presidents. I'd like to introduce all the current state presidents. For Delhi, we have Anurit Malhotra, who's from Safdarjung Hospital and Dr. VMMC College. For Punjab, we have Sirisha Patnaik, who also represent us at the Mexico meet and attended the SCORA sessions. For Haryana, we have Neeru Sharma. For Gujarat, we have Dhruvi Bhatka, and the previous Gujarat state president was our current national secretary, Chinmay Jani. For Maharashtra, I was one of the first state presidents. The last year president was Apeksha Kakkar, which was followed by Riya Patel, and the current state president is Kavya Iyer. Then I come to Rajasthan. The current state president is Kriti Gera. Goa, it is Shashish Surme. Tamil Nadu, it is Nishant. Karnataka, it is Diksha. And yeah, I think we've covered most. Any other left, Chinmay?
The regional directors in the north is Nipun Nagpal. In the west, it is Dr. Patsha. And from south,
in the south, it is Harshvardhan.
Yeah.
We have. Did you tell about Uttar Pradesh?
No, Uttar Pradesh, yes. Uttar Pradesh, we have got active. Our current state president for Uttar Pradesh is Dr. Vedant Chandra, who's from New Era Medical College. And just as UP has recently got active, they did a massive World Breastfeeding Week awareness event at the local hospital. We're really looking forward to Kolkata and various other states getting active. We do have representatives in Sikkim, which is Divyanti Mishra, and Chhattisgarh, it is Mainik Bardhan. They're not officially a state president yet. So we really are wishing that the Sikkim team, the Chhattisgarh team, Kolkata team, and other northeast states,
West Bengal.
Yeah, Manipur, West Bengal, Kolkata, Manipur, Assam. We have a few members from here, but we're really looking for someone to take up the responsibility. And don't think that a state president is just going to be, botched up with getting members all the time. We're not going to give you unrealistic deadlines. We understand that getting members takes time. So it'll be something new. You'll get to learn how to actually work in a global organization. And once you start from state president, trust me, there's no looking back. I started my journey as a state president. I went up to director of memberships and secretary, and now I'm the VPI. So I think there's no looking back. Once you take up a post, it helps you grow a lot as a person. So we'd really be very glad if anyone could come up from these states. Like I think a lot of people have registered. So really, please trust me, you'll not regret and look back to the opportunity of joining MSA or IFMSA. It's much more than learning about your learning from textbooks. It's about being a global citizen. That's I think what all of us are working towards. So please come ahead and watch us down with questions regarding MSA and IFMSA. Mail us 10 times. We'll be more than glad to help you. Naga, you want to say
Yeah,
something?
apart from all these, from my
Sorry?
Naga, your
mute your
voice
mic.
is.
Yeah. Naga, you were saying something?
Yeah, it's getting.
Okay, I think he's gone off the line. That was Nagarjuna, our current National Officer of Public Health. He is specializing in public health as well. So
And
I
the main
would love to
coordinator for today's video also.
coordinate. I mean,
Was
we
the
sadly are a bit technology
techno guy of
deficient in
today's.
medical.
Yeah.
Naga filled up for them. So that's one of the thing. And yeah, anything
And
else you
I
want to
think so.
know?
Naga is going to join. He was supposed to brief about the NGA and about the GA and about our regular meetings of the officials and all. I guess he should come. We should wait for 1 or 2 minutes. And apart from that, yeah,
Yeah,
something about
let's
induction drives are going to be taken by the VPE and the VPCB. Dr. Adit
yeah.
Desai and Dr. David Garewal, they were also going to be the part of today's video, but due to some circumstances, they were not able to. And I
Yeah, and
should
I think Chinna, we need to tell them about zonal
start.
GAs that started by Udayveer.
Oh yeah, that was the first zonal GA. That was the national North Zone General Assembly.
Wait.
And
Naga has come. Let's start from scratch. Tell them starting. Say what is a GA, what is the NGA. Nagarjuna, are you there? Yeah, Nagarjuna, can you tell them what is an NGA? Tell them about the first. Okay, I'll start the Delhi GA, then you take up the Bombay GA, and then the second Bombay GA. Okay, so I think our first national GA for the first time we held it in 2013, which was in Delhi. It was the International Indian Medical Conclave. We had delegates from the US. Dr. Suresh Gupta flew down. We had Kyle Swinski, who is the current CEO of American Medical Opportunities Worldwide. You can apply it for various clerkships and various other observerships from a part of AMO. And we had delegates from Malaysia, from Nepal, and from Singapore. So this was held in Delhi. It was a 3 to 4 day event. We had a Congress leader. We had the IMA president, past president Dr. Narendra Saini, IMA current president Dr. KK Agarwal also in attendance. And there were discussions on various topics. There were training things. There were various things which we had. It was a 3 to 4 day national seminar which we had, and all the officials were part of it, including me. After that, after I think almost 2 years, we had our next national GA, which was conducted in Bombay by me in August. And that was a small GA because it was mainly the team of officials, the EB. But we had our massive first GA held by the team who went to Malta. They conducted in Bombay. More than 450 students attended it. It was held at Dr. E.Y. Patil Medical University in Bombay. And we are trying and conducting every year national GAs. And since now I think we have covered Maharashtra and the Western zone, we want to go up to North and Northeast. So we are currently pitching an open invite for all states to come up with a proposal to hold the next NGA. We want at least 800 delegates attending, and we wish to call delegates from Pakistan, Nepal, Bangladesh, and other countries as well. Pakistan, Nepal, Bangladesh have been our major benefactors and contributors to our growth and development, who have supported us all throughout the entire process of reaching up to a full membership. We want to call them. So currently Delhi is submitting a proposal rather, and we are open to other states, Kolkata, Sikkim, or anyone else conducting it, and we plan to conduct it anywhere between April and May after the March GA ends. And we started this year with something called the zonal GA. This was the brainchild of Dr. Udayveer Singh Garewal, who was the previous state president for Punjab and is the current vice president for capacity building. The zonal GA was held in June mid in Chandigarh. and we had states where we had Uttarakhand attending. I'm sorry to say the Uttarakhand we have got Uttarakhand also active. The current Uttarakhand president is Tejasvi Raj. We had Uttarakhand attending. We had Himachal Pradesh representatives as well. We're looking at getting Himachal Pradesh active. We had entire Punjab. We had Chandigarh. We had Haryana. So we're looking at zonal GAs. Like, I understand it's not possible for some from the northeast to come down to Bombay all the way for a 3 or 4 day NGA and take leave. Everyone has time issues, so we could probably work on zonal GAs, which helps that region people at least interact with the work on building the organization in that region, various activities. And we had an activities fair presentation. Like, every city or every state came up and presented activities they had done, and there were awards given. We had this as part of our NGA as well. We had an impromptu social night as well, which happened in the international GA. So we're working on doing more zonal GAs northeast. That is one thing. And Nagarjuna, can you tell them more about the next NGA where we are planning to do it and the EB and TO meets we are planning?
Yeah, actually we had a recent EBTO meet in Ahmedabad. Pri, can you mute your mic?
Yeah, so I'll unmute it.
Yeah, we actually had a recent EBTO meet in Ahmedabad. That was very fun actually. All the executive board members and the team of officials have met in that Ahmedabad, and we had discussion about various things going on in MSI, and various decisions to be taken are taken, and we discussed about various issues we faced and how to raise our funds of MSI, or how to go on regarding activities, regarding events and etc. things. And we'll be having such EBTO meets even further. And there's an call for proposals for NGAs, national GA. We have received a proposal from Punjab, from Delhi, I guess. Is it Delhi? From Delhi, I
Yeah,
guess. Yeah.
as of now, Delhi and Punjab.
Yeah. We are waiting for still we are waiting up to September 15th for yet to come proposals, and we'll be deciding upon that, like, next where will be the next GA with respect to that.
Yes, so
Till now.
Sorry, you were saying something.
Yeah. No. Till now, we were discussing about all the serious things in MSI. But with MSI, we can have a lot of fun. Like, we'll be developing ourselves, or personality-wise, or skill-wise, regarding communication skills, or our interactions with various our fraternity. All the students all over India will be meeting new friends. We'll be getting new friends. Many people, even all over the world, uh, many people actually share their experiences, getting in touch with other medicos, other doctors, other medicos from all over the world, and they get to know many things, many new things. And even that's also a part of MSA.
Yeah, I think you work on a lot of things, and plus, I think one of the major advantages of MSc and IFL, they have these very short working groups, and a lot of us have been part of this. Like Dr. Zinia Poladia, who was the previous National Officer of Public Health, she was part of the short working group for the Zika toolkit. It's a new virus, and all countries don't have laws and treatment protocols for it. So she was one of the chief people who was working on the Zika toolkit, along with the previous international director for Standing Committee on Public Health, that is Yozo. He was he's finishing his term right now, and from October there's a new stand. This is the IFMSA international director. She's worked with him, and the two other SWGs three other SWGs we've been part of. One is an SWG which was for the professional exchange, manual development and promotion, for which Mokshada Sharma, our previous exchange officer and current VP, was a part of. And I have been part of an SWG which was held by SCORA, which is Standing Committee on Sexual Reproductive Health and HIV/AIDS. It was on a policy making statement. Basically, what are policy statements? So IFMSA makes its own policies on various global health topics, be it Zika or be it something like LGBT health or sexuality education, mental health. So I was part of the short working group for making policy statements on sexuality and gender identity. and it was amazing. I mean, I worked with our main head was Michelina Dredza, something on Michelina. She's a gem of a person, and she is the current liaison officer for Scora. She's finishing her term in October. She was the earlier Scora director for IFMSA. She has represented IFMSA at various United Nations meetings at various other international meets on maternal and child health. Basically, she's a globe traveler. So I worked with her, and she you learn a lot from such people, because abroad I think they have a lot of opportunities like funding to go to such places. That's one thing we lack in India. And MSCI understands that the problem of Indian students. We are working on getting funding for our members to go to various GAs. We basically, for the GAs, we offer for the Malta GA, we gave two members a travel assistance of up to 10,000 each, which almost covered their registration fee for the GA. And for the Mexico meet, since Mexico was more expensive, basically we've decided that each GA we will give funds based on the availability of funds and in which country it is a base fee. We selected three candidates, and they are going to be given a reimbursed base fee of 25,000 each. And the same procedure will be applied for the next upcoming meets based on the place where the GA is going to be held and the availability of funds. And for APRM and UN, sadly, we do not offer travel assistance, but IFMSA offers travel assistance for the APRM plus the GA. Mubashir Babar, who represented us at APRM, got a complete travel assistance from IFMSA. IFMSA also, has an Eric Holtz travel scholarship or a general travel assistance. How it works is you have to apply through us. You have to give your dean's letter saying your college is supporting you attending the particular meeting. And if you're selected for the travel assistance, your entire travel cost and everything will be covered, your flights and everything else. So I think that the flights are a major cost of expenditure for everyone. I mean, a 10,000 registration is not that much at all. How much a 50 to 60K flight ticket is. So we are working on that. Plus IFMSA has travel assistance funds for the same. These are two things. And yeah, I would like to say at the EBTO meeting, it was an extensive meet where we took various decisions and participated in various things that how could we expand the organization, make it better. We were glad to have previous representation from our past EB and TO, like Dr. Upeksha Kakkar, who was our previous director of PR and the previous state president before that. She joined us and gave a lot of inputs. Pankhuri Banerjee, who is the supervising council, is in the current supervising council team, was the National Office for Medication. She joined in, and we had the capacity building heads from Skopi, Bharat Sharma, and the capacity building head from SCOP, that was Jui Shah, who was from Ahmedabad. We also had the professional exchange treasurer. Since you have to pay each country the particular fee, there's a lot of transaction involved. We have a treasurer just for exchanges, whether it is research or professional. So Shita Iyer, she was also joining us. And we have basically put a proposal to conduct 2 EBTO meetings in the year, probably one in the mid the year and one towards the end or in the new year. So we're proposing the next EBTO meet somewhere in January. We're going to invite applications for states for that too. Like IFMSA also has a 2 yearly EBTO meeting. So we're trying to follow the same
Yeah.
protocol because it's very necessary to meet up and to talk and to discuss. A lot of things can't happen on the phone. They happen by a person face to face. So I think those are a few things we are working on.
Mean, meanwhile,
Hello?
you can questions in the comments or the question and answer session of the Hangouts. We will be
Questions?
answering.
Yeah, can you tell me the
No
questions?
questions yet. There are no questions yet.
Yeah.
I am asking people to post questions if they are having any. They can post their questions in the comment section of YouTube.
Yeah.
And the question and answer session of the Hangout.
Yeah. You can also email us for any further doubts at msci-india@ifmsa.org. We are more than easily prompt to reply back to you within a day. So please email us for any MSCI, IFMSA, any committee you want to know about, any training session, any what is a GA, to know more about a GA, regional meet or anything. I understand these terms are new for you, and I apologize for going a bit fast earlier. I've slowed down now. So if you want to know anything more, please email us, and we'll be more than glad to assist you. Anything else? And if you think there's any way in which we could, probably develop more, grow more as an organization, like say if you become a member and you feel there aren't enough lectures for medical development on various topics like neurosystem or urogenital system. We can pitch in to Dr. Mobin also, or we're working to get various other doctors also to take webinars for us. He's taken various webinars on USMLE step 1, what is USMLE, how to crack a residency program. If you want something for NEET, we are open to talking to various doctors. We're trying to get faculties of various colleges associated with us. So if you want anything at your assistance, I mean, we're more than ready to work and grow for professional development. We are tying up with a lot of college conferences all throughout the country. The previous PR director, Apeksha, she was very instrumental in tying up with a lot of college conferences. And currently, Kriti Rawat, our current PR director, is doing that. So if you want any college conference, set up an IFMSA, MSCI stall, get new members, ask any of our EBT or any official to come and take a small live induction session there. We are more than glad to do that. We've done that with various college conferences. So Devir had done it in Punjab and various others. You've tied up with Karnataka, Belgaum. I mean, you could just get in touch with Kriti. She's the current PR director. Again, you can drop us a mail.
We have a question from Beriwal on how to apply for posts and how to apply for GAs.
Okay, so firstly, how to apply for posts. I'll come to that. Every year, we select officials at the National General Assembly. Like there's a plenary and there will be a candidature presentation. So basically, you come and present your portfolio for the post you're applying for, which includes your CV, your past experience in the organization, and what are your plans of action. Why do you want to apply for the post? A thing I'd like to clear, a lot of people think that, okay, I'm new in MSCI, probably I've done 2-3 events. This person is there since a year, so he or she has more chances. No, I think we are open to having new talent. We have to grow and as an organization, and new people have to come in. So if you're deserving, if you show potential, it's okay if you've done 2 events, but we will consider. So please never have that misconception they're only going to be considered if you've been there since 1 or 2 years. That's absolutely not the way. New talent, hard work is always going to be appreciated, and be given the right things want to get. And as for the GAs, the application for the Montenegro March GA will open in November. You could just send us a mail, and once you join as a member, basically all members, the email ID you provide to us while filling the form, you will be getting your weekly, monthly updates of any of the international conferences, programs, or any international thing happening in IFSM, which you can apply, or a national thing, what we are doing. All updates are sent via to the registered email from our MSCI server. So we'll keep you updated on when the applications open. You could apply, and if you're selected as part of the early or late registration, you could accordingly pay the fees. It's the registration for Montenegro is bound to start by November first week, and Adit Desai, our current vice president for external affairs, is going to be screening the selections, and you're more than willing to apply. More than welcome to apply. I'm sorry. That's how you can apply. The same procedure applies for the Asia Pacific regional meeting as well. And once you get selected, once IFMSA opens the travel assistance grant, you can apply to IFMSA also for travel grant. You can apply to MSCI. But considering we're a student organization, we are still working on giving more funds. We could offer funding based on the availability of resources, and we are going to be giving it to 2 to 3 selected candidates. But IFMSA gives you a major grant of at least 40 to 50K, which will at least solve your flight ticket issues. So you could, the same procedures for the regional meets or any other meeting you want to attend as part of the MSCI delegation. And there are a lot of camps. Like currently, the SCORP camp was held in Lithuania, for which we had 2 of our members. One of them was Sneha Sunil, and the other one was Shidanshu. There were 2 trainings held at the SCORP camp in Lithuania. It had various countries. There was Netherlands, there was Pakistan, there was Australia, there was India. There were 2 trainings. One was training medical human rights ethics trainers, training new human trainers, basically TNHRT, and the other one was training new disaster medicine trainers. So Sneha went for human rights and Stanshu went for disaster medicine. So there is various Skora, SCOP, various camps held all throughout the world. You can apply to that also from us. And they again have various SWGs they have a current SWG opening for gender-based violence policies in various countries. So you could apply for that. We have a national SWG on comprehensive sexual education being headed by Anshrita, and the SWG on antimicrobial resistance being Devir and Shushmita Reddy. So you can get in touch with them and let us know if you have any more doubts. Nagarjuna, any other questions?
Nothing yet. I think we can end the session. It's about 11, 3 minutes to 7.
Yeah. So again, thank you very much, and I apologize for any technical glitches or going fast, or I'm sorry if anything and whose names I missed out. I've tried to cover everyone towards the end. So thank you for being part of this session, and I hope to again please help us expand MSCI all throughout India. We're eagerly looking forward to it.
Yeah,
And you can mail
you
us
can
again
mail us to our mail IDs. Uh,
msi-india@ifmsa.org. You can even check out www.ifmsa.org. Our national MSAI website is almost done. I think in the next week it will be completely updated. So probably once you mail us, we'll send you that link as well. So you could check up everything. And we have a Facebook page. You can go and check out MSCI India on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram and YouTube. All our videos, everything, the World Health Day video, our candidates, everything is there. So please follow us on all social media portals. And if there's anything else you again want to know, please mail us.
yeah,
Naga,
do
any
mail us
other?
if you want to know about anything. You can also message us in Facebook also. We'll
On the
be
Facebook
replying
page.
you as soon as
Yeah.
possible. Yeah. Thank you all for attending the session. Hope this session helped you all.
Yep.
Okay, then I'll do a last check on any comments. Okay, see you all then. Thank you for attending. Thank you, Priyanka, for taking.
Yeah, I am
uh,
sorry for whatever glitches I've made. I'm really
thank-
sorry. Yeah, I
no
was
worries.
no.
My
That's all. So good
for
night,
his
everyone. So you were saying now.
yeah.
Please continue.
Good night, everyone. Night, everyone.
Good night. Take care. Please get in touch with us soon. We are waiting for your response.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Take care. Bye bye. Good night.